What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel. On New Year's Day, UFC stars Alex Pereira and Tracy Cortez officially revealed that they are now dating, quickly sending shockwaves through the MMA community and across social media. The announcement immediately sparked conversation, especially due to Tracy Cortez's past relationship with fellow UFC contender Brian Ortega, as fans began tagging Ortega and attempting to provoke a reaction. He addressed the situation directly through his Instagram story. Ortega made it clear that he was aware of the online chatter, acknowledging the creativity of those trying to stir drama, but firmly shutting down any speculation about lingering emotions or resentment. He emphasized that he is genuinely happy and has been for some time, stating that commenting on other people's personal lives or choices is simply not his style. Ortega went on to explain that his focus remains entirely on what truly matters to him, his family and his career. He reinforced that mindset by declaring that 2026, like every year before it, will continue to be centered around personal growth, professional success, and the people closest to him. His calm and respectful response was widely praised by fans, with many applauding his maturity and refusal to engage in unnecessary drama. Meanwhile, Alex Pereira further fueled excitement by sharing footage of himself training alongside Tracy Cortez. The video showcased the couple working together in the gym, blending high-level athleticism with visible chemistry. The post was met with overwhelming engagement, with fans celebrating the pairing and applauding their shared dedication to training and competition. As the MMA world reacts, one thing is clear: all parties involved appear focused, grounded, and moving forward, both personally and professionally, leaving fans eager to see what comes next inside and outside the octagon. Before we jump into the next story, we have a small favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon. It really helps us out and ensures you'll never miss an update. Move on to another news. UFC lightweight contender Michael Chandler has sparked major headlines after strongly hinting that his long-anticipated showdown with Conor McGregor could take place at a historic and unprecedented location, the South Lawn of the White House. During a CBS New Year's Eve broadcast, Chandler was asked about what he has coming up in the year ahead. While stopping short of officially confirming the matchup, Chandler made it clear that 2026 is shaping up to be a massive year for both himself and the UFC. He began by highlighting the organization's new broadcast era, noting that the UFC will now be featured on Paramount Plus throughout the year, marking a major shift in how fans will consume the sport. Chandler then addressed the swirling rumors surrounding a potential event tied to America's 250th anniversary celebration. With a confident and playful tone, he acknowledged that while nothing could be official, confirmed, or denied, all signs point toward an explosive clash with MC Gregor. He went as far as saying that the plan appears to involve him delivering what he described as a red, white, and blue beating to MC Gregor on the White House lawn, a statement that instantly ignited buzz across the MMA world. Though no formal announcement has been made by the UFC, Chandler's comments added significant fuel to speculation that the promotion is planning one of the most ambitious and symbolic events in combat sports history. MC Gregor vs. Chandler bout staged at the White House would represent a landmark moment for the UFC, blending sports, spectacle, and national celebration on an unprecedented scale. As anticipation continues to build, fans now wait to see whether this bold vision becomes reality or remains one of the most talked about rumors in modern MMA history. Move on to another news. Veteran MMA commentator Joe Rogan has raised serious concerns about the future of UFC heavyweight champion Aspinall, suggesting that the British star may never compete again following complications from eye surgery. Speaking candidly, Rogan described the situation as a complete disaster, emphasizing that Aspinall is still struggling with vision problems. According to Rogan, Aspinall continues to experience issues with his right eye, including potential tendon or structural damage. He stressed that injuries involving the eyes are among the most unpredictable and dangerous in combat sports, as even surgery does not guarantee full recovery. Rogan explained that if the procedure does not go well and Aspinall fails to regain proper vision, returning to professional fighting may simply not be possible. Rogan went on to underline just how delicate eye injuries are, stating that outcomes can vary drastically, and that no one can truly know how things will unfold until the healing process is complete. While fighters are known for their toughness, vision loss presents a risk that extends far beyond physical pain, directly impacting safety inside the octagon. To highlight how rare it is for athletes to overcome such challenges, Rogan referenced former UFC champion Michael Bisping, calling him an extreme and almost unbelievable exception. Bisping famously competed in the UFC while blind in one eye for a significant portion of his career. Rogan recalled how Bisping memorized the eye chart used during medical exams, allowing him to pass vision tests despite his condition, even while unable to see out of one eye. Bisping went on to face and defeat world-class opponents, completing roughly 11 fights under those circumstances. Rogan made it clear, however, that Bisping's case was extraordinary and not a realistic model for most fighters. As uncertainty surrounds Aspinall's recovery, fans and analysts alike are left waiting for clarity, hoping for the best, while recognizing the very real possibility that his fighting career may be at serious risk. Move on to another news. UFC featherweight contender Lerone Murphy has revealed that he began training mixed martial art at the relatively late age of 22, making his rise in the sport even more remarkable. Murphy explained that his athletic background did not begin in combat sports. Instead, he grew up playing football from a very young age, starting around 7 years old. Throughout his childhood and teenage years, football was his primary focus, whether playing casually outside or representing school teams. Despite his natural competitiveness, he never formally trained in any combat discipline during that time. It wasn't until he was 22 years old that Murphy stepped into a gym for his very first MMA session. He emphasized that this initial experience marked his first exposure to structured combat sports of any kind. While he had grown up with brothers and cousins and occasionally put on boxing gloves to spar informally, he had never received professional coaching or technical training. Still, those rough, unstructured encounters helped him develop a basic sense of fighting instincts. Murphy made it clear that his first ever official training session was straight into MMA. Without prior experience in wrestling, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, kickboxing, or boxing, he confirmed that this took place toward the end of 2013. Remarkably, that first class wasn't even a full MMA session, it was a kickboxing class. He arrived without proper equipment and had to borrow gear just to participate. Despite the unfamiliar environment and lack of preparation, Murphy recalled the moment vividly. He said that after that very first session, he immediately fell in love with the sport. Training became a place where he could mentally switch off, feel free, and fully immerse himself in the challenge. That sense of freedom and focus is what ultimately drew him deeper into MMA. Looking back, Murphy's late start makes his success even more impressive, proving that dedication, passion, and commitment can overcome a lack of early experience and still lead to the highest levels of competition. Move on to another news. Former UFC welterweight champion Kamaru Usman has heaped massive praise on Chimaev, declaring his recent victory to be the performance of the year. Usman shared this view alongside former two-division UFC champion Henry Cejudo, with both fighters in agreement that Chimaev delivered one of the most dominant displays ever seen in a championship-level bout. Usman described the performance as an easy choice when discussing the best overall showing of the year, emphasizing the sheer level of control and dominance Chimaev displayed from start to finish. He pointed out that this was not an ordinary win, but a total dismantling of a world-class opponent on the biggest stage possible. Cejudo echoed those sentiments, highlighting the significance of Chimaev accomplishing this feat against reigning champion Dricus du Plessis. According to both analysts, dominating a fighter of du Plessis' caliber in a title fight elevates the performance into historic territory. The statistics from the fight only reinforce their argument. Chimaev reportedly accumulated an astonishing 21 minutes of control time, a number rarely seen at the championship level. Even more jaw-dropping was his striking accuracy, landing approximately 510 strikes out of 5 and 67 attempts, an efficiency rate that borders on unbelievable in elite MMA competition. Usman noted that when you combine relentless pressure, flawless execution, and overwhelming control, it becomes difficult to recall a more one-sided championship fight in UFC history. Both he and Cejudo agreed that this bout may stand as one of the most dominant title fight performances the sport has ever witnessed. As fans and analysts continue to debate the year's top moments, Chimaev's performance has clearly set a new benchmark for dominance inside the octagon, leaving little doubt about his place among the elite. Move on to another news. Former UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya has made it clear that he expects his legendary fighting career to come to an end inside the UFC, firmly shutting down speculation about a future transition into professional boxing. Speaking during a recent Q&A session, Adesanya explained that mixed martial arts represents the highest and most complete form of combat in his eyes. He emphasized that MMA allows a fighter to use every limb and every weapon available, making it the ultimate test of skill and versatility. Because of that, he has never seriously entertained the idea of leaving the sport to compete in boxing, even as other high-profile fighters have done so. Adesanya acknowledged that he once viewed boxing crossovers as something he would never pursue, largely because he believes his legacy in MMA is already cemented. As one of the most accomplished and recognizable fighters of his era, he feels that stepping away from the UFC to chase another combat sport would not add meaningful value to what he has already achieved. However, he also admitted that his perspective has evolved over time. While he still believes his career will end in the UFC, Adesanya noted that everyone has a number, referring to the financial reality that could theoretically change a fighter's decision. He revealed that he personally reached that number a couple of months ago, describing it as extremely high and unlikely to be met. Even so, he stressed that his priority is not chasing outside opportunities, but finishing his career on his own terms. Adesanya added that he is content watching other fighters explore paths beyond the UFC while he remains focused on closing out his journey at the highest level of mixed martial arts. His message was clear. While he will never say never, his heart remains fully committed to the octagon, and he intends to conclude his career at the top of the sport where his legacy was built. For now, Israel Adesanya appears determined to let his final chapter be written exactly where it began inside the UFC. Move on to another news. The wife of UFC champion Ilia Topuria, Georgina, has reportedly named Joe Rogan in a police complaint related to alleged online harassment, following remarks he made on his podcast about an AI-generated image involving her. According to reports, the controversy stems from a digitally altered image that circulated online after Topuria's divorce became public. The original photograph reportedly showed Georgina alongside her brother. However, the image was manipulated using artificial intelligence, replacing her brother with a well-known rapper. Joe Rogan, believing the image to be authentic, commented on it during a recent episode of his podcast, discussing the situation and offering his personal opinions on the divorce and its aftermath. Georgina has since included Rogan's comments in a formal police complaint, arguing that his public remarks contributed to online harassment directed at her. The complaint does not allege direct contact from Rogan himself, but rather focuses on the impact of his statements given his massive platform and influence. Separately, legal proceedings involving Ilia Topuria are ongoing in Spain. Topuria has been summoned to appear before the Court of Violence Against Women, where a hearing is scheduled to address matters related exclusively to the custody and care of their daughter, who currently lives with Georgina. The court has clarified that this hearing will not determine the truth of any accusations or establish criminal responsibility. Instead, it will focus solely on decisions concerning the child's welfare. As part of the proceedings, Georgina is reportedly seeking permission to take their daughter out of the country. It has also been disclosed that she has made accusations against Topuria, including claims of domestic violence, gender-based violence, assault, and family abuse. These allegations remain unproven and have not been ruled on by the court. At this stage, the situation remains a legal and family matter under judicial review, with no determinations of guilt made. All parties involved are presumed innocent, and further developments are expected following the upcoming court hearing. Move on to another news. In a recent update, it was officially confirmed that Henry Cejudo has signed with Real American Freestyle Wrestling and will headline RAF 6 on February 28th. Following the announcement of his signing, the promotion has now revealed his opponent for the main event. Cejudo is set to face longtime rival and MMA legend Urijah Faber in a highly anticipated freestyle wrestling matchup. The bout marks a major moment for the organization, as it brings together two of the most recognizable names in combat sports, each with a storied competitive history and deep roots in wrestling. The announcement has already sparked strong reactions from fans, with many eager to see how the matchup plays out on the wrestling mat rather than inside the octagon. With both athletes known for their intensity, experience, and competitive drive, the main event promises to deliver a compelling clash of styles and legacies. Who do you have winning this showdown? Share your predictions and thoughts in the comments as anticipation continues to build for RAF 6.